Mm. Welcome. We're just about to begin our live session on Insight Timer. So I invite you to join us there on the app to be part of our interactive time together. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We'll wait about a minute before we get started. Great to see all of you. Hello, my love. Long time. Welcome. Hi, Gary. Welcome, everyone. I can. Can you see me? Well, I can't see you, but I can see your little bobbing profile pictures. Hi, Rika. Oh, no, I can't see you. That could be alarming for a moment there, right? Hi, Richard. That's okay, love. Thanks for being on so late in the day. Hmm. Hi, Monica. Happy to be together. Suketa, welcome. Great to be together. Oh, well, if it is bedtime where you are, maybe you wish to just lie down and be in this healing energy that we share together. No need to watch the screen. Maybe just allow your mind to receive whatever it's needing from this session today, your heart to be nourished, just being together. Hi, Davy. Welcome, everyone. All right. Welcome. For anyone that I'm getting to meet today for the first time, my name is Selena Layel. I have many, many recordings on the app. I have two courses. One is called Yogic Practices for a Peaceful Life, and the other is called Awaken My Heart, a Guide to Living with Self-Love. I lead live sessions each week, and you can find my live schedule on my profile page. Generally, the sessions are on Wednesdays at either 4 or 6 p.m. Eastern, or yes, and then Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern. We have a yoga asana session. We also have a group here on the app. Love Heals All is the name of the group. So, again, warm welcome to everyone. Hi, Kim. Let's take a moment to become more present, shall we? If you're lying down, I invite you just to remain lying down. And of course, if you can't move your body for any reason or you're just choosing not to, you can always just visualize doing the centering technique, which we're about to do together. Hi, Zawadi. Welcome. Hi, Jill. Warm welcome. Hi, Maureen. Hi, everyone. Great to see you all chiming in. If you haven't said hi, please feel free to say hi. It's a joy to get to hear from you. Okay, so let's start by bringing the hands together in front of the chest. Roll one shoulder up, back, and down, and then the other shoulder up, back, and down. Feel how that maybe lifts your sternum up into your thumbs a little bit. Chin is slightly tucked. Inhale as you reach your right arm all the way up, straighten the arm if you can. The left hand comes down by the navel. Exhale really slowly, like you're moving through honey here, to bring the hands all the way back to the heart where they touch. Slow, deep breath in. Reach the left arm all the way up. Right hand by navel. All the fingers point up. Exhale slowly, slowly, all the way back to the heart. Soften the mouth. Inhale the right arm all the way up. Straighten the arm if you can. The left hand moves down by the navel. Exhale slowly to come back to your beautiful heart. Feel your palms touching, your fingers touching. Relax the shoulders. Close the eyes for a moment if they're still open. Feel your belly softening, your face softening, relaxing. Really feel the sensations of your palms and fingers touching. Is there pressure, heat, or coolness, tingling, vibrating? Great. And now, if you can, again, if you can move the body, rub your hands together, start to create some friction. If you can't move your body, you can always visualize this. Really, really rub them together. Create some heat between the hands. Rub, 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 rub. And then take your palms and place them wherever you feel like you're needing some love or some healing on your body, wherever it is. It could be anywhere. Just place your hands there and feel as if your body is softening into your palms, wherever you're holding. And you let go a little more. Can you give yourself permission to be just as you are in this moment, feeling whatever you're feeling, thinking whatever you're thinking? Can you give yourself permission to just be as you are? Beautiful. Ah, thank you. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Santan. Hi, Rosita. Wonderful. Wonderful to be together. How are you? The Saima introduced us to this practice. For anyone who's unfamiliar with Saima, Her Holiness Saima is the name of my beloved teacher who I've been studying with for over 20 years. My heart in form, as each of you are, actually. um, we were on a course together, and Saima invited us, rather than saying, "How are you?" which many of us say without even expecting a response. It's just kind of like how many of us say hi, like, "How you doing? How are you?" We're not even really present. And even when we ask someone how they are we really available to listen, right? So Ma was inviting us to say, how is your consciousness? How is your consciousness? Because usually, if we think about how we are, we're pretty immediately wrapped up in some kind of emotional stuff that's going on, some thoughts that are occurring. Maybe we're feeling empty or peaceful. So that could also be an experience, right? But for many of us, there's this immediate sense of digging into maybe something uncomfortable or unpleasant, or we could say that really kind of takes us out of an experience of the fullness of who we are, although everything is part of it. So when we say, how is your consciousness? We are saying, how is the source that you are? How is your light today? How is your presence today? That self that you are beyond the experience of your mind, beyond the experience of your emotions, even beyond the experience of the body. How is the presence you are? And for some of us, this just might be like, "Whew, I have no idea what we're talking about right now." That's perfectly okay. For others, maybe you can start to sense this inside. When I check in, how is my consciousness? Do I experience that differently than if I was just to say, how am I today? And there's no right or wrong here. It's not like one is better than the other, but it takes us into a different qualitative experience of ourselves. Hi, Monica. Hi, Angela. I'm coming back. Zawadi is sharing, "Oof, that's deep. Most of us wouldn't have any idea how to respond to that." Yes, exactly. We wouldn't. So maybe we can actually explore that for a moment here. We can play with that together. Uh, yes, Nina. Yes. And Nina sharing, I realize the default of how are you? Right. It is the default. I so often, like yesterday, I was walking in my neighborhood and I think I said hi or good morning or something to the person who was walking by me. And they said, as they were power walking by me, right? They said, "How you doing?" Right? She had no intention of hanging around and finding out how I was and listening to my life, right? It's just this thing we say in passing. And sometimes we'll even be surprised. I don't know if you've ever experimented with this or just done it naturally, where someone asks you how you doing as just this way of saying hello, and you actually respond, and they're kind of like, "Uh, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared to hear how you're doing," or maybe vice versa. Maybe you said to someone, "How are you?" and you weren't really present to really being with them and how they were, and you were kind of taken aback that they started actually opening up to you. So this is good for us to be more aware. Yes, where, and again, there's no good or bad here. It's just awareness. Yes. Right. And Tony's sharing, yes, people expect to hear fine, right? How you doing? Fine. Yeah, I remember this when I've had the great blessing in my life to spend time in Guinea, West Africa, and have made very beautiful, deep relationships there. And I remember one of my first times as we were exploring each other's languages, um, they were sharing, some of my friends were sharing a little bit of the English that they knew. And they would go through the exchange of, "Hi, my name is, what is your name?" Right? And then they would say, "Hi, how are you?" "I'm fine." That was always the answer. That was the English response they learned. "I'm fine." Right? But of course, that only takes us so deep. Hmm. I see lots of comments coming, and I'm going to come to them in just a moment. I'd like to invite you, though, to take a moment with me. I'm experiencing a flood of energy pouring in right now, and it's a little difficult to speak all of a sudden. So let's just take a breath together. And maybe there's something here you can explore in yourself, this expression of me being so authentic, stopping myself mid sentence and being authentic with what's actually happening inside of me rather than performing or being a certain way that I think I'm supposed to be. How often in our lives do we just power through something because we think it's how we should be rather than being authentic? So let's take a breath together. Hold the breath for a moment. And whenever you're ready, exhale completely. Let your lips be soft and your jaw just hang open. Inhale deeply. Hold the breath. Exhale whenever you're ready. Let the jaw be really relaxed. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Some of you might be able to relate to the experience that I'm inside of right now. Maybe you can really relate to it as energy really pouring in. And so you kind of get discombobulated for a moment. Or what many of you might be able to relate to, excuse me, is the experience of feeling really anxious while you're speaking. Maybe you're at work giving some kind of a presentation or talk, or maybe you're just hanging out with someone, or maybe you're on a date and there's this anxious experience that you have. And rather than maybe taking a moment to just be quiet or to take some deep breaths, you try to get your words out, you try to keep speaking, you might even stutter as you are trying to say something in a way that you think you should. So, this is a great technique and a great practice that we can take on, the practice of authenticity, and to give yourself some room. Give yourself some space rather than trying to fit yourself into the box of who you think you should be, how you think you should speak, how you think you should feel. What if you took time to practice being with yourself moment to moment with awareness, with presence, so that you could honor what your needs are in the moment? Thank you for taking that moment with me. Okay, coming back to all of these comments because I see many came through, and then we'll circle back around. I think we were going to have an experience of or explore this idea of what is it like to say, how is your consciousness? And we were looking at how there's this auto response of saying something like fine when really there's so much more going on for us. And some of you are even familiar with the not very language tasteful acronym of what the word fine means, right? So how can we practice greater authenticity? Okay, let's see here. um, all right. Zawadi is sharing, I stopped mindlessly asking, how are you years ago. Now I only ask if I care about the response. Now I only ask if I care about the response. Beautiful. Presence, right? Awareness. Moving through your comments. Yes, I see some of you sharing. I love a good, honest answer when someone asks me, how are you? Or Davy sharing, I make sure that I only ask when I'm ready and able to really listen. That's nice. Nina sharing, this will be a life change to make. Thanks for bringing it to the light. Yes, absolutely. Beryl is saying, when I ask, how are you, I'm really meaning it and want to hear whatever the person would like to share. But I feel awkward when people ask me, I never know how to answer because of ill health and not wanting to lie, but also wanting to sound positive. Thank you so much for sharing that, Beryl. Authenticity. Apparently, authenticity is the theme today. An invitation for authenticity. It's very uncomfortable to be vulnerable for most of us, to actually let people in, to actually share how we're feeling, to not be happy, right? There's such conditioning around how we're supposed to be happy all of the time and positive people. And, I mean, even more so now than there ever has been in some ways. There's also more room for authenticity than I've ever seen, also. So being vulnerable, being authentic, it's our choice, right? Who we want to go that deep with. For example, if I'm having a really rough day and I'm just passing by someone who maybe doesn't really want to hear my response, I might just say, I'm okay, thank you. I'm not saying I'm great, right? I'm saying I'm okay, which is true. I am okay. I might be having a rough day, but I'm also okay. And then there's the invitation to share more intimately with someone also. And it's a practice. It's a practice of vulnerability. Hey, how you doing? Just wanted to check in on you. You know what? I know that my life is blessed. I know that things are great, but I'm having a really rough time right now. I'm experiencing a lot of pain these days. I've been having a lot of difficulty. It makes me think of that beautiful Marianne Williamson quote, where part of it is, is all about being vulnerable. And when we're vulnerable, we give others an invitation to be vulnerable as well. Thank you so much for bringing that up. And it looks like we have quite a few comments that have come in response to your share, Beryl. Mm. Okay, I'm making my way through the comments again. And I'm curious for those like Jill who also uh, oh, here comes another big wave of energy coming in who also wanted who are also have that question. I'm curious for Beryl and Jill how that feels for you, what I just shared. And Tony, everyone. Yes, Chris. Authenticity. I'll look it up. I think it's like it's I'll share Zawadi in just a second here. I'm going to go through the comments and then I'll share the acronym. Kim is sharing true. No one wants to be a downer when someone asks how you are. I've been on the asking. It was very awkward because they told me health issues. Yeah, so this is really huge. And I know you all have more comments coming in. So I'm making my way slowly. Yes, for apologies for some of them not being real time in my response. This is huge, what Kim is speaking to here and what Beryl is bringing up in general. You know how many have this behavior if someone's crying, what do they do? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Don't cry. Don't cry. It's going to be okay. Don't worry. It's okay. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. This to me is showing us how uncomfortable that person is with feeling. When I'm saying to another person, don't cry, it's okay, I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable with that person feeling. And I'm uncomfortable with what it brings up inside of me, the pain that I have inside of me. And this is this on a side note, this is really good practice today because the floods of energy that are coming through are making my mind turn off. So it's like every few thoughts, I don't have any thoughts. So I'm really getting to practice real presence, which means not answering or sharing from the intellect, but actually sharing from presence, which is a very powerful experience. The ego doesn't like it because the ego is like, I want control and I need to know what to say, but surrender. So let's speak even more from the heart. That's what this is an invitation for. Come out of the mind into the heart. And as Ma says, think with your mind, love with your think with your heart, love with your mind. Think with your heart, love with your mind. This is so much about the intimacy that we long for, the connection that we long for as human beings. We long so deeply to feel connected, and yet we often keep people at arm's length or only let them in so close. Even your partner. Some of you will make love to your partner and not even have true intimacy. You'll have that depth of physicality and you won't even be intimate with each other. And you're not bad or wrong for that. It's just the awareness that we have these behaviors that keep us from truly being with each other. And this really starts with being able to truly be with ourselves. If I can't sit with my own discomfort, I can't sit with the discomfort in another. And if I can't sit fully with discomfort or pain within me, then I can't actually experience the full expression of joy or passion or aliveness in me either. When I dampen one part of my feeling experience, it dampens my whole feeling experience. So we're longing for this connection. We're longing for greater intimacy. And some of you might be saying to yourselves, I don't long for that. I don't need that. I'm fine alone. But I would say that we're all longing for this deep connection, whether we think about longing for that with another or with God or with our own self. There's this longing for so many of us. So, what we really want in our experience with others, it must begin with our relationship to ourselves. So, coming all the way back to what was being shared about it being uncomfortable to say, "How are you?" and someone actually answer authentically saying, "Oh, I'm having these health issues." We could look at that as a response that is arising because we are uncomfortable with what is going on in our own being. We are uncomfortable with being authentic with ourselves. We are uncomfortable with maybe facing our own health issues or our fear of health issues. This is really so beautiful, really, in that it's all about our relationship with our own beloved self and how that translates into the quality of our relationships with others. Thank you for allowing me to be with my eyes closed so I could just allow presence to speak because my mind isn't doing it very much today. So this is it. This is about authenticity with ourselves and how this authenticity is in our relationships with others. So I'm going to come back to your comments now. Thank you. Thank you all for all of your shares about how you answer and share in this kind of a conversation or passing expression. Rika's sharing, recently I finished a workshop about mindful communication. And I feel like ever since then, hold on, sorry, it disappeared. And I feel like ever since then, I am so much less authentic because I think about how to say it correctly and compassionately, but then it's so manufactured and not really from the heart. Yeah, that sounds like a great place to explore authenticity. Right now you're taking two different things and learning how to integrate them and embody them. These mindful communication tools with your authenticity. How can you practice integrating them? Zawadi is sharing, what's present for me right now is gratitude for the ability and technology to tune in at this very moment, sitting by the river at sunset while navigating feelings of grief, anger, anxiety, and a sense of not belonging. Oh, my love, I love you. I love you. Mm. I'm just giving you this big squeeze if you want it. Just this big, big, big squeeze. And how beautiful. I'm just now reading your comment here. Yes, but isn't that exactly what we're talking about? This longing to belong, to feel connected, to feel loved, whatever it is, this longing is there. And it starts with our relationship with ourself. If I feel rejected by others, I ask myself, how am I rejecting myself? If I feel judgmental or judged by others, how am I judging myself? If I feel disconnected from others, how am I creating separation within my own beautiful self? And yes, having community, having people, it's invaluable. We need it. It's so important in our journey. And I know you know this, Awadi, when we are able to tap in to actually being with ourselves truly lovingly or truly accepting of our experience, it's like that separation can just get washed away. But this isn't about changing where you're at either. So I love you, and I'm just holding you in this moment with everything you're feeling, just right there with you. Because that's part of it too, isn't it, everyone? Part of it is these moments where we feel this grief and this anger and this pain or this not belonging, whatever it is. This is part of the cycle that we go through, part of the journey, part of the unfolding, part of the awakening. It is having moments like this. So, how do we hold ourselves tenderly, or like Zawadi is so courageously doing, share in community? This is how I'm actually feeling. And it's rough right now to just be able to say, okay, I'm here, I'm in it. Mhm. Thank you for your vulnerability and authenticity. And Zawadi, if you didn't catch what Kim is sharing here, this is one of the acronyms for FINE: fed up, insecure, negative, and emotional. Oh, that's sweet, Nina. That's lovely. I ask if I can hold them, then wait and listen. Beautiful. Mm. And Kim, I see that you're able to see that within yourself, what we were speaking to. Beryl is sharing or shared, because this is past tense now, right? Thank you, Selena. I think I struggle with not wanting to be truthful in my response, but I'm always so aware of how the other person might feel. And also I tend like to try to be upbeat and make light of difficulties. Yeah. So were you able to kind of see as we went deeper there how this is really about your relationship with you? We could all ask ourselves this: can I see, or maybe can I consider, that the way I'm in relationship with others is the way that I'm in relationship with myself? My level of authenticity, my level of openness, my level of truly being loving, it's an expression of my relationship with me. Wonderful, Liz. Wonderful to be together. Yeah, and Gary Sharon, I always feel a longing for connection. Yeah. And Gary, I would invite that the longing you're feeling is a longing that you're wanting to feel within you. I mean, really, it's not even that hard to consider if we really look at the reality. When we feel connected to another person, we don't feel it outside. When we feel connected to God or to Source, Allah, Buddha, we don't feel it someplace outside of us. When we feel connection, we feel it in here. So, really, what we're wanting to feel is connection in here, inside of our own heart, our own being. Someone shared, we have this little community chat for my self love course that's here on the app, and someone shared the most beautiful thing. I was just like in tender tears reading it. And he said something along the lines of, thank you so much for this course. Actually, I just want to read it to you because it's just so touching and it's right with what we're talking about. He said, you have touched me on such a deep level. You have slowly and lovingly introduced me to the most important person in my life, me. Just want us to take that in. This is in response to doing a self love course. You have slowly and lovingly introduced me to the most important person in my life, me. What if we lived our lives in that way? What would that feel like, Gary, if you were in love with yourself? Hmm. Thanks, Awadi. Thank you all for your love. Great, Angela. Great. Beryl saying, I was trying to say that I feel that I don't want to not be truthful. Yes, I got that. But the other things I wrote afterwards, yes, no issue. I got that. I understood. And are you able to kind of see that the difficulty that you might have being authentic with another is also a reflection of your relationship with yourself? And of course, these behaviors are also rooted in things beyond just our relationship with us, although it all comes back to that. Our conditioning, the environment we were raised in, our survival strategies that we developed to cope with our environment. Yes, there are many reasons why we might have these behaviors. So we can explore this with compassion. So Kim is sharing, I'd love to join this chat. How this is a chat for everyone who's part of the self-love course. So if you just join the self-love course here on the app, it's called Awaken My Heart, a guide to living with self-love. You'll see that there's a place where you can be part of the community chat for everyone who's in the journey. Gary is saying, uh, I wish I less in love with myself. I think maybe, are you saying you wish you were in love with yourself? Is that what you meant to say, my friend? Um, and for anyone who maybe is feeling like that, if that's what you were saying, Gary, that they wish they were more in love with themselves. I know this is how so many of us feel, and that's why I created the self love course. And also because for me, the journey of learning to love myself practically and beyond is what has taken me into much more profound states of peace and bliss, even in my life. Making my way back through the comments. Monica is sharing. Hi, Monica. I'm a caregiver for my mom right now. She has cancer and is in so much pain. I feel all alone at times, but it is hard to find someone who will really listen. Plus, I do not want to burden anyone. Oh, my love. You know you have us, darling. You have us. I know it's so uncomfortable to be vulnerable and especially with very intimate details. You have me. You have our group, Love Heals All. That's what the space is for. It really is a place for us to be authentic and for us to receive support. I mean, this is also if we don't feel like we have friends in our lives who we can speak with. Well, one thing, you may have friends, but maybe you just haven't developed the type of relationship where you feel comfortable to open up to them. So you can always ask. If you have someone in your life you feel may be able to hold that kind of space for you or be able to show up with that kind of emotional capacity to be with you, you might say, "Hey, I'm going through this really challenging or painful time, and I wonder if you might be open to just listening, or if we could have maybe a deeper talk." So many of us, our relationships are very superficial. So we can ask though. We can say, "Hey, do you have any interest in having a more heartfelt or deeper conversation? I've got a lot going on and I'd love to share and maybe hear what's going on with you." And of course, there's also therapy, finding someone who can listen to us in that professional way or a coach. Um, Journaling, I know it's not being with another person, but it can feel really freeing to our hearts. Just kind of like writing everything out. Just without totally uncensored, without trying to be positive or anything, right? But just writing it all out. This is what I feel. This is what I'm going through. It's so difficult. Sometimes I feel like this. Sometimes I feel like this. Just giving yourself permission to feel it, my love, and to not have to hold it inside. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. My heart is always right here for you. Always. Lean on me. Reach out. And reach out to your guides, my love. Your beautiful guides, whether those are your ancestors or your angels or different deities, your beloved soul, your beloved higher self, your beloved presence. Call on these aspects. My beloved self, fill me with your love. I feel so lost and in pain right now. My beloved guides, fill me with your light. Hold me now. I feel so alone and in pain. Just call on your guides every moment, all day long. Let them hold you, let them love you. And of course, for anyone who says, well, I don't believe in any of that nonsense, maybe you just say to some inner part of yourself, help me feel loved right now. Help me remember that I'm loved, that I'm not alone. So many really touching shares today, everyone. Thank you for being so open and vulnerable. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing so much of your love with each other. Ah, yes, what Evie said, Monica. I don't think anyone would think you're a burden. They'd be glad to support you. And Evie, that is so beautiful. And let's also be, we can be realistic too. In this path of so much love and positivity and compassion, we can also say, for some people, it will be a burden. Some people do not have the emotional capacity to listen to us. Some people have so much going on in their own minds or their emotions that they can't really show up for us. So, this is part of our discernment and self love to be able to say, I can tell or I have a sense that this person is actually not available in the way that I need them to be. So, an expression of my self love is not having an expectation that they will be there for me. Yes. We can have this beautiful balance of honoring ourselves, loving ourselves, being vulnerable and authentic, and also being intuitive, being aware and checking in. Can this person really support me in the way that I'm needing right now? And if not, it's okay. They have every right. There are days, right? There, for me, you can imagine, there are days where I don't have the capacity to give anymore. There are some days where I don't answer the phone. There are some days where I just need some time to reset, to do my own inner work. So whether you, whichever end you are on in each experience or situation, may you honor your own need to just take care of yourself at times, and may you honor the need for others to say no at times if they're not available. Right, Evie? So we can hold the space for both. This beautiful awareness that there are people who will not receive us as a burden. And also the realistic awareness that for some people, everything feels like a burden because they're going through so much. But we don't have to take that personally. Yes, that's part of the distinction there. Love, 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 love. Just reading your comments. So beautiful. Yes. Reach out to each other. And that's again, I know some of you have private accounts, so you can't friend each other or message each other. Use our group, Love Heals All. Just drop a note in there, say, hey, everyone, this is what I'm going through. It's challenging. And then that's a great way to say, you know, if there's someone there who's available to listen, maybe they'll say, hey, I'm available. And then you can coordinate how to communicate with each other. Yes. Remember, some people won't see your messages if you send them, like just without, just on the app. Mm. Mm. Beryl sharing, thank you for all that you are sharing with us. Um, is so loving and insightful and also encouraging. And today, just before this live, I found your self love course and it looks beautiful. I almost feel, I keep losing your comment. I almost feel awkward in terms of focusing on self love, but also see how fundamental it is. Yes, absolutely love. So many of us feel like loving ourselves is somehow arrogant or awkward. It's just strange or foreign. You're not alone. And that's why the course is there. Ah, I'm loving all of your expressions of love to each other, your sharing, your kindness, your compassion, your generosity. See how beautiful you are? Look at that for a moment. Look at how beautiful you are. Look at your kindness. Look at your generosity, your compassion, your loving nature. See that in yourself. You're so beautiful. And remember, just because you're a loving person doesn't mean you can't say no at times, doesn't mean you don't uphold boundaries at times. Sometimes we get being a good person and being deserving of love confused with giving ourselves away and not taking care of ourselves or upholding our boundaries. Beautiful, Monica. I'm seeing your comment about your angels and ancestors and God. Ah, so lovely. So lovely. Yeah, Gary shouldn't have had a strange fear since the new moon. Don't know why. It's okay. It's just energy. It's just energy. As one of my teachers from long ago said, human beings are meaning making machines. It's just something moving inside. Sometimes our emotions are messengers letting us know things, but sometimes it's just energy moving. And it's the resistance of that energy that causes it to stick around longer. So, how can we say to ourselves, okay, I feel this fear and I don't need to make it mean anything? I just feel it. It's uncomfortable. I don't like it. But how can I practice being compassionate toward myself? How can I practice welcoming that fear? How can I practice accepting the fear and accepting myself just as I am right now? I actually just posted a meditation in our group, Love Heals All, called Heart Healing. And it's a really lovely technique I learned from Saima, where we just really bring emotions into a more loving, accepting place inside of ourselves. Hi, Paul. Paul is sharing my latest counseling task is to read about compassion. It's going to help me, I think. What with all the support I had in another live here when I opened up about a recent heartbreak that crushed me and taught me not to give up. Thank you for sharing, Paul. Big, big hug if you want it. Just big, big, warm hug to your beautiful heart. Yes. So beautiful to share. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for being open. Thank you. Great, Kim. Thanks for that recommendation. Yes. Self-compassion. Self-compassion is key. Well, we have had such a lively chat today, my friends. So nice. So nice. Gary is sharing, you're right. I resist it. Today I was a bit better. Yeah, and that's great, Gary. And I would invite to even let go of the idea that we're better or worse, right? Like rather than like, oh, I'm a good person because I didn't resist today. Oh, I'm a bad person because I resisted today. How can we practice just welcoming it all? Today I'm really resisting. How can I take a breath into that? I was with a beloved yesterday in a one-on-one session and we were doing this powerful technique, the release technique. And it's all about being able to just welcome whatever resisting, whether it's an emotion or thought or just resistance itself. How do we practice welcoming it? and then welcoming it some more, and welcoming it some more, whatever it is, just allowing it to be there, and allowing it to be there, and allowing it to be there again and again and again until we find there's no more resistance and we can just be with whatever is. That's fantastic, Kim. Ah, beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. What a very touching, tender, tender session today. Mm. I was wanting to read today from a bit of Saima's book. Oh, Beryl, in our group Love Heal Us All, I'll place a link to be able to watch the replay so you can catch the parts you missed. Thank you all. Well, I think I will just read a little bit from Ma's book. And you may wish to just close your eyes and just absorb these words. This is a chapter um, that's just so phenomenal. The book is called Conscious Living, The Power of Embracing Your Authentic You by Her Holiness Saima. And this book is one of my most treasured books, treasured guides in life, really. Excuse me. Be true in your relationships. Limits that arise from fear and need. Most of the time, you enter a relationship because you feel lonely or you are afraid to be alone with yourself. Sometimes depression, boredom, or the need for affection has you begin a relationship. How could that connection be harmonious if such a motivation is your main reason for being in this relationship? I invite you to really take that in. If you're choosing a relationship from boredom or from the fear of being alone or loneliness or the desire to be filled up in some way, that's the kind of relationship you're creating. I need to fill something inside of me. Many of you transfer the fears of old relationships into new ones. You may have been injured by a spouse who left with another. When the next relationship arrives, you say to yourself, "Oh, I hope he does not leave me. I do not want to suffer like the last time." By bringing the past into the present moment, you cannot be in the present moment. Therefore, you may not be available to this new relationship. Now, you do not want to get into a relationship and repeat old patterns. When you want to establish a relationship, ask yourself, why am I looking for a relationship? Why do I want one? A relationship can have many purposes. Become aware of the fact that each relationship is sacred, new, divine, unique, and remember the importance of communication and sharing in your relationships. You may think you do not have any such needs, but consider these things. Observe well. On either side of the relationship, there may be a void inside of the person that wishes to be filled. This lack is not a sign of a true relationship. When you say to someone, "I love you," what are you really telling the person? What are your real expectations? Is this relationship light and spontaneous, or do your needs eliminate any freedom and create expectations? Do you hide the real reason and engage only with the fake? Relationship with another is a mirror for the self. A relationship is a mirror for the self. This reflection helps you grow because in a relationship, you need to make decisions. Experiment, say yes and say no. How many of you do not dare to say no in your relationship? The yes and the no must be balanced. If you want to live a true relationship, you must learn to say yes or no freely without having to deal with the fears of the past. I often find that as soon as one enters a relationship, one thinks about its duration. You want to cling to your relationship, making it last. What is this attitude? What fear is there? I often find that as soon as one enters a relationship, one thinks about its duration. If you are free in a relationship, then you will receive a lot. For example, when you give without even knowing what you are giving, the relationship is fulfilling. When you are in a relationship without waiting for the other to change, then you grow up. Remember that in a true relationship, there is no duty or obligation. In your relationship, commit yourself to your higher self without waiting for the other person to commit to you. A relationship is a great opportunity as it brings you in relationship with creation itself. This is where your soul leads you. Your soul is your essence, the spark of light lodged in your heart that accompanies you from one life experience to another. Your soul accumulates memories and impurities from all lifetimes and requires purification to return to its essence. You are the one who brought this mirror to yourself. This person you are attracting is your own mirror. This person you are attracting is your own mirror. So if you ever feel hatred, disgust, or jealousy, and you say to yourself, I wish I had never been in this relationship, realize that you are face to face with yourself. On the other hand, if you choose to live in a relationship where there is only splendor, victory, harmony, unity, divinity, the sharing will be so wonderful and so powerful that the breath you breathe will merge with the whole universe. Thank you. And thank you so much for your donations. We just had some very, very wonderful news for us as the instructors here on Insight Timer. We now receive the full donation, which is so, so helpful for us. So many of us on the app who lead lives and who create content, we're doing this freely and sometimes don't receive much for it. Yes. So it's a great gift when we receive because it allows us more time and energy and spaciousness to keep creating. Yes, you could think about it first, not from, well, I guess this also applies to me. You know, many people we have like we're entrepreneurs, so we have several different projects that we do to support ourselves, being able to pay our bills and eat and all of these things. Yes. So what a gift that Insight Timer has made it possible for us to now receive your full donation so that it gives us more spaciousness to create and to take care of ourselves and to be here and sharing everything that we have to share from our teachers, our experiences, our hearts, our lives. Thank you, friends. Thank you. And for anyone who's unfamiliar, our beloved Zawadi is also an incredible, beautiful teacher healer on the app here. So if you're not already tuned into her events and her content, I really invite you to. And I want to just come back because I think I saw one longer comment. Yes, from Rika. Rika sharing. Um, Rika sharing, that matches what I've been pondering today. I noticed that I've been fighting the deep love that I still have for my ex for years, shaming myself, judging myself for it. Today I decided that I will stop and just accept the feelings for him. That's beautiful, my love. Beautiful. Yes, she's right here in the chat. I will put it right here. Ah, what a rich, rich time today. Yes. I was just going to say one thing before we complete about something that someone just said. Let me go back to the comments to see if I can remember what it was. Um, oh, we don't have time for it today. Okay, I'm making a note to myself because there's this very, very powerful teaching about the difference between love and relationships. And maybe I'll make a little note here for our next satsang to be about love and relationships, uh, because I'd like to bring some things to light there for us to explore. Because um, for many reasons. One, sometimes what we feel is love is not love, it's attachment, it's longing, it's emotion. Also, because just because a relationship ends doesn't mean that love ends, right? So like what you're sharing there, there's still a deep love. So you can explore this if you wish. Okay, where is my experience of that deep love for this former partner? Where is my experience of longing or attachment melded with that genuine feeling of love? How does that shift my way of thinking? We can start to create distinctions in our awareness of our own feelings and presence and energies and beingness. Yes, Wendy, the name of the book is called Conscious Living. Conscious Living, the Power of Embracing Your Authentic You. Ah, there we go. Authenticity. This is really the path, though. Authenticity is such a doorway to freedom. Mm, wonderful. Ah, wonderful. Zawadi, do you have any upcoming lives? Do you want to share with us when your next live is? I know you were going to be putting some back on the calendar, so if you have some, please share when your next one is for us. Okay, we're ready and waiting. Well, follow her so that you can be alerted to when those lives do come, and you can just enjoy her meditations and talks in the meantime. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll come to a completion now. For anyone who'd like to join for our yoga asana session, we'll be together on our yoga mats on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank you. Thank you all so much. And again, thank you so much for your donations. I'm so grateful for your support. And it is exciting. It's exciting to be getting 100% instead of 50% because it creates more of that, more support. What a gift. What a gift. No follow-up button coming up. Evie, I'm not sure what follow-up button you're speaking about, but if you're talking about my profile page, you can just look me up just under Selena Layel. And all of my content is there, my courses, our group Love Heals All. There's a link for that there. And the live schedule is there. So everything is there. There's also a website listed under my About section if you'd like to stay more connected, see what's happening. I think that's all. Any last words, sweet, sweet, beautiful souls, before we complete? Yes. Mm. Yes. It's wonderful to be together again, Sukara. Beautiful. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Hmm. Wonderful. Thank you all so much. May we be compassionate with ourselves. May we tend to those places inside that are needing care, kindness, presence. May we practice being honest with ourselves so we can be honest and authentic with others. May we practice embracing all parts of ourselves, the shadow and the light, so that we are more open and available to true connection with others and with our most beloved self, most of all. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who supported Sandy's live today. She's such an angel, my beloved, sweet angel mama. If you're not already following her on the app, Sandy Magram is her name. She will continue to lead lives and we'll get her video quality better once she's back home. Beautiful. Yes, yes. She has another one coming up. I think the last one of this series she's offering is next Wednesday at, let's see, it's at 5 a.m. my time. So 11 a.m. Eastern time. Sandy has her last of this 4-part series. It's okay if you haven't been there for the previous sessions. And she's going to continue offering lives, different topics and content. Yes, she is. Thank you, Elena. So good to see you. Oh, I love you. I love you. Keep shining your light. Keep tending to your darkness. Keep caring for your beloved self, every part of you. And on the days that it's difficult to feel, you can do what I did and make raw key lime pie. Yesterday, I was like, I can't feel these emotions. This is too uncomfortable. I think I'm going to make a pie. It's pretty good. It's my first one I ever made. I love you. Thank you. It was raw, though. It is raw. So it's not, it's not that same kind of pie, but it's really delicious. Actually, I think raw key lime pie might be better than regular key lime pie now that I think about it. Okay. Oh, see you soon. I never want to leave when it's time to leave. Yes. Well, you can make it. It's pretty easy. Just get some avocados and some nuts, a little coconut milk. I know, right? Well, maybe I'll post a recipe or something, or a link to a recipe in our group Love Heals All for anyone who wants to make a raw key lime pie. Lovely. Yeah, I used coconut milk. I used a little bit of agave and chia seeds and vanilla and Himalayan salt with the nuts for the crust, and then for the filling, it was avocados, really beautiful avocados, so perfectly ripe, with a little coconut milk and other things, little maple syrup. It's delicious. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and lots of lime also. Yeah, it's all raw, vegan raw, and it's made with avos. Very, very fatty and delicious. Oh, I love you. I wish we could just hang out and all be together. One day. One day we'll have a big space where we can all just come together in person. We can meditate together, laugh together, cry together, chant together, rest together. Won't that be amazing someday? Maybe Insight Timer will create a way for us to offer specific Insight Timer retreats. Yes, dance together, scream together, sweat together, all of it. All of it, all of it, all of it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I'm having a hard time saying goodbye. Thank you. Thank you for being such a joy and a gift and a light in my life and in the world. I will see you soon. Hi, Antoine. Sorry I missed you. We don't ever check comments during on YouTube during the lives. So you got to come over to Insight Timer. Come to Insight Timer. All my love.